Good morning. Welcome to Mitchie's Motivational Monday. How are you doing today? What a crazy weekend. Went to New York for the weekend. It was pretty interesting. I got to see Central Park and take a carriage ride through there, and also spend some time in Coney Island and seeing that. So, being my first trip here to New York, it's been pretty exciting. It's been some moments, but you'll have that, it was kind of a business slash personal trip, so it was productive. And it brought me to my talk today. It brought me to my message for the day. And I want to talk about truth and our perception of truth. There's a lot of ways that this could go, but I think I'll start out with, the fact, here's an example, like a friend of mine from school, high school, childhood friend, really good friend of mine. We've been talking about differences between religions, and we're kind of he's stuck on this one thing, and this one thing refers to the Trinity, whatever. And the point of the matter is, like, the word of the Bible speaks the truth, and anything outside of that is just interpretation of the words that are there. So it's a matter of perception. It's a matter of how you perceive the truth. And that kind of ties into life a little bit. Like, there's people in life that you believe that are telling you the truth because they never really given you a reason to question that. And then there's people that aren't telling you the truth, and you kind of get that gut feeling about it. And it's not until certain things happen and you see things happening along the way and you realize that what the truth really is. And so the bottom line with that is that truth is nothing more than a matter of perception of reality. And it's what you choose your truth to be. And I say that, it might not be a correct way of saying it. It may be better to just say, there's only the truth. That's it. There's only the truth. There's nothing more. Everything else is just fabrications. Everything else is interpretations. Everything else is opinions. Truth is the truth. And there are people that lie about everything in their life. And you think about why do people lie? Why are people nefarious? Why are people crooked? Why do people steal? And you start to think about, okay, why do people lie? Let's just talk about that, because this is about truth. And the opposite of truth is false. It's fiction. It's a lie, or it's a made-up story. And the reason that people tend to lie is there's a few reasons. One reason's out of fear, like they did something wrong, they don't want to get caught, so they lie about it. And then the lie, like, it's just a snowball effect. It's a spider web. When I was a kid, when I was young, I used to lie about everything. And the funny thing about being a liar is that you're constantly having to think. It's hard to lie. It's really challenging to keep a lie going and keep a lie alive, because you're constantly trying to remember what you said a month ago in that lie. And then somebody confronts you on something, and you have to make up another story to cover that story, and then you have to make up another story to cover that. And before you know it, you're so twisted in all your lies that you start to believe the shit yourself. And the fact that you're so twisted in them, you get caught. Eventually, a liar will get caught. Lies do come out. There's people in this world that con other people into believing in them and then take advantage of that. They take advantage of psychology. And it's a horrible thing. But it's so powerful. And so the reality is truth. If you seek it, you will find it. And eventually the truth does come out. It's inevitable. Karma. You ever heard of karma? I'm sure everybody has heard of karma. She's kind of a bitch. I mean, if karma needs to get you, she will, and you'll pay. It just might be a time frame. There might be a time frame that you think, oh yeah, I got this licked. And then all of a sudden karma comes up and slaps you upside the head. Hopefully it's just a slap upside the head. Could be worse. So the reality is who we choose to put our faith into, because truth ties into faith in things, and what you choose to believe ties into what you have faith in. And if you choose to put that faith in a monetary system, like we see all this crash, this this Silicon Valley crash, this bank crash that happened on Friday, and it's just the ripple effects are going to be intense, and the ripple effects are going to be astronomical, and everybody's waiting for the fallout that's going to happen today. And here's the thing, like a buddy of mine says, man, did you see what's going on? I'm really, everybody's hanging on the edge waiting to see what's going to happen on Monday. And I said, no, I heard about it, but that's not where my focus is at. My focus is on the moment, what I'm in, what I'm living in. And that's not to say I turn a blind eye to what's happening, but I choose to separate myself from that stuff. Because why? I can't control that. I can't control what's happening there. I can only control what's happening here. And so I feel confident and I have faith that I'm in a position of okay in the long term. And God will get me through the short term and the long term. So I don't worry about any of that stuff. And that's why I choose not to watch it. I choose not to get involved like so many people do and stand on the mountaintops and scream, the sky's falling again. It's one thing to prepare. It's one thing to be ready. And it's another thing to worry about something you can't control. So the fact of the matter is I was talking about faith and then truth, and putting your faith in something like a monetary system, putting your faith in something like a government, putting your faith in something that's like a bank, that's all man. That's all man. And we all know man is fragile. Man is corrupt. Man is flesh. Man is full of sin. And so because of that, you can't put your faith in man. You have to put your faith in you first, and then put your faith in God. That's your structure. That should be. Now, for many it's not, and that's okay. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just here to share my life, share my stories, and share my wisdom that I've gained along the way with all of you, in hopes that some of it reaches you and might change your mental position. Because I'll tell you, dwelling on all those negatives all the time, it's just adding negatives together. And what happens when you add negatives together? You just keep getting to a larger negative. But if you just throw positives in there, they kind of keep it in balance, and hopefully the positives can outweigh the negatives, and you tend to stay up here instead of being down here, dwelling in the negative, worrying about the negative, worrying about what's going to happen. We can't worry about what's going to happen. We can only try to prepare for our next step. So find your truth. Choose who to put your faith into, as far as integrity, as far as trust. Be careful who you trust in life. A con will say, I don't trust anybody. It's because you're not trustworthy. Most of the time, people that are not trustworthy will not trust anyone, regardless of who they are. They wouldn't even trust their own parent, because they don't trust themselves, because they can't trust themselves, because they're full of shit and they're full of manipulation. So, keeping this on an upper level, set your vibrations high, set your sights high, keep your mind going in that sunshine direction, and not focusing on the clouds. Don't focus on the doom and gloom, but rise above it. Rise above it, lift your spirit, and you'll find this peace about you. Like, I have this peace that I feel like no matter what's happening around me, the world could be crumbling, and I still have this peace that I feel that I can't control that. All I can do is control this little circle right here, and I will. Everything else, you gotta put it to a higher power. You gotta put your faith in something else that's gonna protect you. So, knowing the difference, and why people lie, why people manipulate. I started out with, it's because of fear, and the other reason is just because that's who they are. They've lived a lie their entire life, and they choose to prey on people's psychologies. They choose to prey on people's emotions to gain a better step in life instead of working for it. And the reality is, it's a whole lot more work trying to keep up with that lie that they told or that they're living. So, enough said about that. I hope you guys had a fabulous day. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you had a great weekend. I hope this weekend found you well, and today finds you rejuvenated to some degree and not worried about this financial system. Don't worry about that. Protect yourself a little bit. Protect your, make smart decisions as best you can, and move forward. Keep focusing on the moment. Keep focusing on what it is in your circle that you can control. And you'll find that the stress becomes a lot less. Life becomes a lot better. Feels a lot better. Feels a lot more peaceful. So on that note, I hope you all have a fantastic week. And I love you all. And I'll keep an eye out for my spiritual channel that's going to be starting here soon. Just got to get in that moment again. So till next time, have a good one, guys. Love you all. Peace.